Hey, so I've been storing my clamps on, I took a moving dolly and built an A-frame out of plywood on it, and then just put some runners between those two triangle pieces, and I would clamp the clamps on there and I could roll it around, and that's worked pretty good. But in the interest of better utilizing space, and at the top of my garage I've got this 1x12 with wood framing inside of it. So I think I can put my clamps up there, and that'll be a better usage of space. And then the little rack that I was putting the clamps on, I've now put some of the smaller excess materials I have from projects, like 2x3 or less pieces of wood, plywood and things like that. So what I've typically seen as far as clamp storage is something along the lines of like 2 pieces of wood like this, and then the clamp goes in between. I like that idea, but I think I found a simpler solution. The simpler solution being to just use 1 piece of wood. But in order to do that and the clamps not swing out of the way, I gotta get a little clever. So 90% of the clamps I have are just these Harbor Freight, is this a F style clamp, I guess, a capital F. What I've noticed is what I could do, I could hang them over, or I could have a strip of wood and open the jaws and slide the clamp over. But if I put them like that, and then all I've got to do is figure out that angle. And so if I angle my piece of plywood, the handle and then the actual rail of the clamp will be held perfectly up and down, and then just put me a plate back here that'll screw into the wall. And the genius of that, if you want to call it that, is it doesn't matter how long the bar of the clamp is. It'll always be the same. So I've got a few different sizes of these, so I can make like maybe 3 of these setups. I think I'm going to do like a foot of projection out, and then like I said, just a back plate, some glue and screws, and we'll try it out. And you know, if it falls apart, nothing lost, nothing gained. This is just a scrap piece of wood I have. I'm just going to go with that dimension. It's like 6 inches or so wide, and we'll see how it goes. So follow along. Also, if you saw in the previous video, I had this. I did cut it back where it pushes back. These lights were the exact width they needed to be, so that's why they're at an angle now. But I still like it. It just kind of catches all the dust in this one area. I'll get me a piece that actually fits in the back at some point. But for now, I like it. That piece of plywood just helps project the light out. And really the lights being pointed this way kind of helps too. It's eliminated a lot of the shadows right here. So 12 inches. Blade's getting a little dull. I cut a bunch of transitions out of the, not LVT, but the composite flooring, snap together flooring, and that stuff has got a very hard finish, so it kind of eats it up. So 12 inches, and then I'm just kind of making it up as I go. So something like that. So 12 inches and 6 inches. Yeah, and this is 5.5. Not that that matters, but 5.5 is just a rip that I have laying around. So we'll do 6. Probably what I'll do is put this one together show y'all kind of how it looks in place, and then come back later and make some more. If not, I may even just put it together and kind of leave it up there a couple days, just see how flimsy this thing's going to be. If it's pretty strong. I don't have a ton of clamps. I think the 18-inch, I think I got 6 of those is the most I've got of any one type of clamp. I'm just kind of guessing when this is straight up and down. So I just flushed this up against my side here and found it was 1 3/4 inches at the bottom end. Now I have that angle. Now I can take, a lot of my stuff's in my trailer right now. What could we do? So if I draw a center line, stay with me. Be easier if I just went out and got my bevel gauge out of the trailer. If we know that's 1 3/4 inches to get that angle, and I want it centered, half of that would be 7/8. So if I go 7/8 over, 7/8 over and make a line, I'm going to put this up. If I connect the corners, something along those lines, that's going to get me what I need. So let's do that. 7/8. And this is not like, it's not like this is something that has to be perfect either. So this is all for the sake of science, I guess. Okay, Okay, so I have an even distance from my original line that I guess. So the big thing is with that, those two lines. So I'm lining up this corner and this corner. So I want the same sides as far as doing my line. I don't want to do this corner and this corner, because that's going to skew the angle by the thickness of the wood. So picking the same side, lining up, won't be dead center. Yeah, I could do more math and figure that out, but I think I'm just going to go with that and then leave more meat on this side that the weight's on. Get a couple screws in there, maybe one screw in there, and we'll mount it up. So let's do that. Get a little glue. I'll brad nail it and then I'll screw it together. Probably what I'll do too, if I continue to, if I like this and go with it, I may take the miter saw here and cut me a dado at that angle just to kind of lock it in even stronger. You get the idea. Now I just need a way to know where to put my screws. I don't know about y'all, when I'm thinking real hard, my tongue comes out. Or when you're focused. A lot of people do it when they're swinging a hammer or something, they don't realize. So I'm going to use my Craig pocket hole drill bit to countersink these and get them going. So that's the best thing to fit the Craig screw head is this actual thing, but just using that freehand like this and put like 3 screws in there and then see what happens. Not sure if I specified, but I wanted those countersunk because that's gonna go against the wall, and so can't have them sticking out. go like that, and then I'll set my clamps up on there. I'll get it installed here and I'll show you how it goes. I'll spare you having to watch that because I'm going to have to move some stuff around and get the ladder. All in all, pretty happy. Just the initial design, just kind of sitting here playing with what I could do with scraps. I could also cut this trapezoid shape out and put another piece there, just a little extra bracing, and then screw through this into it. But let's just see. It might not be necessary. So I think I only got 4 of this size, and all the weight, you know, push them back as close to the wall as possible. So I may not need it. So get it in and then reconvene with you. And that's it installed. So definitely didn't need all this length unless I get some more clamps. I do think some secondary bracing would be required for that, but I'll let you know if it falls off or if it works out. You'll probably see some more of them in the video if I like it. It's a little close to the ceiling. I could have dropped it down just a smidge. The brick does go behind a little bit here, but usually I'm doing clamping or not, so they're out of the way, out of sight, out of mind. And then when I'm ready to do a clamp up, I'll just go grab a bunch of clamps and do that process, and then put them back. Over here is just those are some paint racks that I actually cut on my CNC. Just a quick thing I drew up. May show those in another video, but they just stand up. Then this piece here slides into the bottom perpendicular, and then so you end up with 2 of these little tree things, and then I'll usually, if I'm doing built-ins, all the shelves will go in there, or cabinet doors, so I can paint all one side and then let them dry. I almost need to build another set with longer branches, I guess, for the tree part. But again, just a quick upload. I wanted to get y'all. It's extremely hot here. It's been high 90s with a heat index over 100 for like 2 weeks straight now. So kind of zaps my energy. I don't know about you guys, but keeping the content going. The vanities I mentioned in another video are a go. Our vanity I mentioned is now turned into 2 vanities. So I'm going to do one, going to pick the materials up tomorrow. One's going to be maple stained to finish with some details on the side that are going to help me to put it into a inset little area without, so I'll be able to scribe those pieces, I guess. And then the other one is going to be furniture style legs painted black. And then finished on one side, and I'm thinking about doing an inset shaker panel on the side. It's going to have shaker doors on the front, so hadn't done that process before. Actually, I hadn't made shaker doors before, so it's going to be interesting, but figure it out, and be glad to bring you guys along for the process. You can watch me learn, and if you've done that before, probably get frustrated watching that process. But as always, thank you for watching. Thank you for spending a little of your time here with me in this little garage workshop. And I'll see you later.